The front was thrown out. Red sign on a motorcycle. Then, because of the fear that the other party's target is himself, so he leaned to the right. But I bumped into my brother. As a result, everyone behind him also had an accident. All fell to the ground. After seeing the success of your plan, Kanazawa Prefecture breathed a sigh of relief. But I didn't wait long for him to be happy. A little brother flew over. When Kanazawa turned to look first, I found that the people of the 4th Brigade. It's going backwards. So he rushed over immediately. Stand in front of the players. But when he saw the figure in front of him, I can't help but tremble all over. The other party looked relaxed. He also said hello to Kanazawa Senral. Expressed that when you pass by, see the battle going on here. Come and have a look. And the little brother behind, after seeing only one other person, he encouraged the captain to go together. But Kanazawa-san swallowed in fear. The next second he was shouting, all personnel flee at full speed. Can be evacuated unconditionally, because the man in front of him is Daijin. Clerk Yu, president of the Federation. On the surface, he is a mild-mannered, rich second generation, actually, but a psychopathic gang chief of staff. Because he has a unique hobby. That is to drive the enemy to a desperate situation. Hunt later. This is in the eyes of others. It feels so scary. But he thought it would be fun to do so. Every time they send 3 times the enemy's force to kill. But this time, he underestimated Kanazawa-shin's combat effectiveness. If it weren't for their president, who happened to pass by here, then this operation will end in failure. And after Kanazawa-shan saw you when you won, it is also a decisive decision. Shout unconditional evacuation to all personnel. As soon as the sentence comes out, the crowd ran to their motorcycles. But Yu Wenyuan seemed very calm about it. There was no trace of pursuit. Instead, I made a call to the chief of staff. It means they've started running without looking back. The chief of staff received the news. He called the Daijin Association. The 3rd-ranked Quan Ji Dong, because they are on the run, will pass by him. So I asked each other to have 3 colorful paths. Put fewer people in the position, I said. After giving the order, he dialed the phone again. And that person, it is Wu Yun, who ranks 4th in the Daijin Federation. Z is also cold in his underwear, buried in Party B. After the phone is dialed, he asked the other party how it was. But Wu Yun, Z obviously didn't recover from the shock. He couldn't believe it. It turned out that the chief of staff was all right. I really didn't find anyone. It was just now. He raided and captured all the prisoners who had participated in Guojijiang, personnel who have been acted upon, but after carefully checking their phones. After the communication record, discovered none of the people who participated that day were inside stocks. When I heard the news, the chief of staff's face instantly became frantic. I seemed to understand. Why would the police do this without physical evidence? Search with your 6th sense. Finish this sentence. And he started doing some analysis. The only person who knows that Guo Jijiang was captured is me, Wu Yun's Mingdu Shang Huang Cao Minute. But Huang Debang tried to rescue Guo Jijiang. Send out several troops. And it wasn't me who broke the news. Nor you. Not even Ming Dongshang and his subordinates. Then in the end, Huang Chaiming is left. Although he did not belong to the imperial state, but just assume he's a fake gang leader. Everything so far. The situation makes sense. Although there is no physical evidence, but I still doubt. He also believes that the probability that Huang Taomin is the leader of Jia Gang is as high as 99.9%. So Yunzago, I need you to go somewhere and grab someone. As for the address, I'll have someone send it to you via text message. And the guy over there is a fake gang leader. You know? Now is the warring period when Kanazawa is being pursued. So the battle has been going on until now. He must, carrying with him the means to manipulate Huang Debang. Meanwhile, the other side, the crowd of the 4th Brigade, they fled in different directions. But even so, they still can't escape the siege of the Daijin Federation. Because running away from where the president is. In the end, you can only escape to 3 places. Then as long as the troops are arranged here, they have nowhere to run. And in the end, The chief of staff is also correct. Kanazawa Prefecture's tactics made their own comments. Although the troops on motorcycles are mobile, strong advantage, but correspondingly, they also have the disadvantage of not being able to escape down the path. Unless you give up the motorcycle. Otherwise, they can only go towards the tar. Escape in the direction of the mainland. Speaking of which, he couldn't help but complain that the two idiots were alert. Obviously, as long as the last level is blocked, it is fine. As a result, I can't even do this little thing well. One of the most unfortunate is Kanazawa Prefecture, because they actually encounter the market imagination guarded by Quanji Shuo, and the other party has already started to kill. I want to take this opportunity to trample on Kim Zi-hyan. Make him unable to give. Meanwhile, the other side. Guo Jijiang, Zheng He's second team sang at KTV. But he was worried. I don't know, Park. Why don't she and this guy answer the phone? I was going to see him today. Make a real difference with him. The next second, the phone rang. Guo Jijiang just got on the phone. There is no good tone. Lion Ji-hoon, who taught his colleague captain, is a lunatic. Ask why the other person is calling you. And he was very angry about the title. But think of Guo Jijiang, after being a damn gangster. So we got down to business. Zhang Pu, the news of she and the unconscious was told to him. Guo Jijiang, who heard the news, instantly covered in inheritance. On the other side, Huang Kaiman is the same as him. But the shocking thing is, his brother Emperor Huang Wu actually kept a diary. The man was clearly beaten powerless. But lying on the ground, he suddenly laughed. And the reason why he was so happy, it's because of the person who fought against him. It's Wu Yunzi, who ranks 4th in the Daisian Federation. But he still feels that at his own level. Able to deal with a guy of this level in front of you. And he has eyes. Himself has. Imagine defeating this guy. It wasn't that long ago. Jin Lechen arrived at the scene in time. He sent Wu Yun's flying. This scene shocked Wang Kao. Why are you here? Jin Lechen is shameless about this. Just a few simple explanations. It means that Ma and Li called him here. Then he looked at the guy in front of him. Ask him what he does for a living. How dare you touch my friend? Wu Yun's mood was originally extremely unhappy. After all, I just got punched by this old 6th. But when he heard that, still can't help laughing. If it weren't for the chief of staff not wanting to be able to manipulate Huan, the methods of the imperial state are exposed. I really want to see your face when you find out the truth. However, he still reminded the other party vaguely. It seems, you seem to have made a rather obvious friend. But now Le Chun is very puzzled. I don't know what that means. But Wu Yun's did not choose to explain. It's a distraction effort to persuade the other party. Return the punch just now. The pain from this punch. Let Jin Lechen come back to his senses in an instant. I couldn't help but scold Wu Yun's. But the next second, he took another blow to the face. Then he was accused of punching him like a rainstorm. Until this moment, Wu Yun's only spoke thanks to your friend. You can be inexplicable. It's wonderful being the Confederate's 4th-in-command spouse. But Jin Lechen was not discouraged. Instead, it inspired a greater desire to win. After dodging the incoming fist, find the opportunity to attack the opponent. So far, he flew Wu Yun's in a head-to-head confrontation. Then he couldn't wait to launch a victory speech. Don't underestimate people. After all, I'm also a member of the Emperor Gang. As soon as the sentence comes out, can't help but express Wu Yun's anger. I held it back again. When he thought of this guy in front of him. Even the fake gang, I don't even know that the Lord is by my side. And he was amused. But for some reason, can't tell the truth. It's so uncomfortable. So Wu Yun's had to rush to the other party again. But his fist stopped in midair. But Jin Lechen couldn't help but be slightly stunned. In the next second, his right fist suddenly hit. Jin Lechen was caught off guard. And the second wave of his offensive. Same as before. His fist stopped in midair. Until the opponent's blocking position is clear. He launched the attack with his other hand. In a short period of time, the people who have been beaten by Le Chun will be defeated. There was no fighting back. and Huang Taoman fell into despair. After all, Wu Yun's, I came here because of Emperor Huang Wu's mobile phone. This shows that the chief of staff has confirmed that I am a fake helper. Even if I'm lucky enough to get out of here, must not be able to get rid of his doubts. I don't hesitate to put the people around me in danger. Even lying to guys who consider me a friend. Does it really make sense to keep doing this kind of thing too? When I think of this, he couldn't help but look at Ma and Li. After all, he is the hero of this matter. He was the one who threatened to become a fake helper. But now, he was unconscious. Does it really make sense for you to continue doing this kind of thing? Just as Huang Pao Min was thinking about the answer, Jin Lechen can no longer resist Wu Yun's offensive. Knocked to the ground. Seeing this, the other party calmly lit a cigarette. Want to ask one thing before getting to know him. That's why. Without resistance. I keep thinking, but Jin Lechen did not answer this question. Instead, I confirmed to Wu Yun's, you really rank 4th in combat power in the Federation. Right? He didn't say why until it was confirmed. That is, I have already imagined the picture of defeating you. But it gently bulges without meteor gas. I didn't expect the other party to die before. There's still leisure to pretend to be cancer. But the right foot he stepped on, but was firmly grasped by Jin Lechen. This caused him to lose his balance. Fell to the table. And Jin Lechen took this opportunity. He slowly stood up from the ground. Using a trick he stole from Kanazawa Prefecture. Scorpion wagging tail kicked the opponent's head hard. But a tumble brings strength. Wu Yun's eyes instantly turned white. Mirror down. Obviously, just hand over this phone. Solve all troubles. But the man's companions are risking their lives for it. Because now, the only hope to save Kanazawa-sen. He's the only one left. It was just now. Jin Lechen uses scorpions to waggle his tail. Successful stun. The 4th-ranked Black Cloud in the Federation. So he took advantage of the moment when the other party fell to the ground. Let Huang Kaeman and Ma Heli escape from here. I will find a way to solve this kid myself. But Huang Kaeman fell into hesitation. He doesn't know. Do you want to hand over this phone? If you hand him over, can this really end? But not yet for him to make a decision. Zinlikan gave him the answer. You don't have to hand over that phone. But this sentence made Huang Ruan very sensitive and surprised. I don't know how the other party knew about this. But these two people didn't have time to drink too much. Because Wu Yun's has stood up again. And he also heard the conversation between the two. Can't help but wonder, how did the Spring know about this? But before that, he has more important things to attend to. That is, to snatch the phone. But he's only halfway there. He was kicked away by Jin Lechen behind him. Fell to the ground hard. And this scene also brought Huang Ruoman back to her senses. So he came to Ma and Li's side. Carried him up. And were getting ready to leave. Before leaving, Jin Lechen stopped Huang Kaeman. Let him find a way to rescue Kanazawa-sen. Because on another battlefield at this time, Kanazawa-san has knelt to the ground powerlessly. And the guy who knocked him down. It's the 3rd-ranked full player in the Federation, etc. Not long after, Huang Kaeming left. Wu Yun's broke free from the shackles with his demon power. But he's on top. Did not choose to pursue the yellow grass mother. Instead, Chao Jin Lechen swung his fist. And the very next second, he was hit in the face. But Wu Yun's didn't go out of business because of this. Instead, he grabbed the opponent's right foot and threw him flying. But Jin Lechen is still unconvinced. Crazy mocking Wu Yun's. Until his nose caught a scent. Jin Lechen just reacted. So he immediately stood up from the ground. Pat, the part of your body that is on fire. But the scene in front of him made Wu Yun's very puzzled. He doesn't know how the fire started. I don't even know the fire. When did it become so big? But now Lechen clearly remembers. This is all because of Wu Yun's cigarette butts. So he couldn't help but blame the other party. But Wu Yun's is also very uncomfortable. He didn't want to make a big deal out of it. So he got into a fight and withdrew. I want Jin Lechen to make way for myself. But the other party refused without hesitation. Express that in case you get out of the way. What should you do if you go after Huang Kaemin? That guy still has things to do. So there's no way I'm going to get out of the way. Actually, it's better for me. After all, the fire is so big. You should immediately, because choking on smoke inhalation. After you pass out, I can give you this indulgence. The fire fan was handed over to the police. Wu Yun, who was angry with these words, stood out lightly. In that case, then don't blame me if you're dead. Then he rushed to Jinal village. Meanwhile, the other side. The chief of staff is still dialing Wu Yunde's number. But the other party didn't get through. And he was lost in thought. Distance from the previous phone call, an hour has passed. Normally, he should contact me now too. After all, Huang Chao minute. It is impossible to last an hour in front of Wu Yun's. At most 2.5 minutes, he can solve the battle. Faced with this situation, he had to call the housekeeper. Ask where he is now. After learning that the other party is on his way back, he entrusted the housekeeper to go to the building just now. Take a look at the house. There seems to be a problem over there. And he agreed without hesitation. Just as he turned the car around and rushed back, but was attracted by the scene next to him. That's the oncoming fire truck. And there's more than one. Meanwhile, the other side. The golden son is still at home, waiting for his brother to come back for dinner because he promised himself will be back before dark. But now, he doubts if something will happen to his brother. After all, it's so late, and you haven't come home yet. I didn't contact myself. The gang leader, who is usually brave and good at fighting. Now, he is kneeling on the ground, covered in wounds. Even someone spat at him. He's not mad. Just looking around. Ask what happened to the other person. Those in power shake, but their faces are full of excitement. What else can I do with them? Of course, all dare to climb down, and in a short time life may not be able to take care of itself, but don't worry. Because you're about to end up the same way. After all, the president has ordered to bring you to the general meeting of this federation. Public execution. As for the purpose of this debut show, it's supposed to spark things. So I also specifically proposed to the president for this general meeting venue. By the way, in conquering that place, about the venue, what do you think of the gold coins? Kanazawa-sen, who heard this, grit your teeth. But there was nothing he could do. I can only listen to the ridicule of the other party, and Quan Ji-do is also a murderer. Wants to let. Kanazawa-sen was trampled in front of his little brother. But before that, you have to stay in the warehouse, honestly. Unexpectedly, the next second, Kanazawa-sen lowered her head. This can't help but make Quan Ji feel a little bad. I don't know what happened to the other party. Could it be that the sky is falling? But Kanazawa-san asked a question with a dark face. Why would you do such a thing? Then indulge in that. In an insignificant sense of belonging. Even desperately to hurt others. And in the end, if a sentence is a scripture, it will be roared out without first. But the powerful man stepped on his head. Taunt each other's mouths full of shit. He also joined the emperor list. Isn't the so-called reason for happiness? And Quan Ji-do just finished saying the sentence. A little brother came up to report that the car had arrived. So he threw Kanazawa into the car first. Then he told the driver to drive immediately. But then again, does your errand company still take this kind of business? Yeah, we'll do anything for the money. Can you know the sound? But it made Jin Ziqian feel a sense of familiarity. In that case, then go to the place I just mentioned. You don't have to worry about money. But the driver was sweating nervously. Because he is fake by Huang Kaemin. And all he did to rescue Jin Ziqian. It turned out that Huang Kaemin escaped from that house after. Then I thought about what Jin Lechen had said to myself. You don't have to hand over that phone. And go and rescue Kanazawa-sen. These two sentences make Huang Tao sensitive to very different. He really didn't expect. Jin Lechen actually knew about the existence of mobile phones. After all, there was no such sign at all before. But Huang Kaemin doesn't have much time now. Think about this. He has to rescue Kanazawa first. But the other party has been lost from the beginning. I thought the plan was a success. But if you speculate according to what Jin Lechen said, That's in the process of escaping. What's wrong? And Brother Zexian is very good at conducting. Can make people like him. It means that the other party has also used his brain. And think from the perspective of the Federation. How would I defeat them? Thinking of this, Huang Kao Min opened the Autonavi map. I found that there are 3 ways to escape to the mainland. If you are yourself, you will definitely be there. Set up an ambush. So he carried Marjorie on his back and started to rush the tomb. I went to the one closest to me. And so it was. Here are quite a few members of the Emperor gang lying on the ground. But compared to the right number of people, still a little less. They must have spread out and tried to escape. One of the things that scares Huang Kaomin the most. Or are these people in really bad shape? Apparently severely beaten. Although I don't know how Jin Lechen knew. But he made it clear at the time that he asked me to save Brother Zexian. In that case, the news that Dishange was arrested should be true. You have to go to the other 2 roads to find it yourself. Maybe you can find some useful clues. Just as Huang Taoming was about to leave. But I heard a cough. So he leaned against the wall and peeked up. I saw a member slowly get up from the ground. He went to his companion and patted his shoulder. I want him to stand up and go with me to save the captain. After all, he just heard it very clearly. The other party wants to imprison the captain, and then attack openly at the Federation's general meeting. But I didn't wait for him to finish speaking. A person came to him. Stomped on his head. What the hell is going on here? Why is there no one around? Coming. Can Huang Kaomin really rescue Jin Zexian? Just now. The staff of the Aaron Center finally arrived at their destination. But on the battlefield at this time, all that's left is a bunch of comas, unconscious members of the Emperor gang. So he called the customer. Ask where the other person is now. After learning that it was in a nearby parking lot, he fawns over them and said, it will arrive soon. But he just got off the phone. Immediately changed his face. Damn Aaron Center. To ask me to treat someone I don't know at all. The kid is respectful. But then again, are all the recent punks in uniform? It's crazy. From generation to generation. When thinking of this, he became visibly agitated. Until a few years ago, I'm imagining life just like them. If it weren't for life, dogs are not this errand worker. Result next second, he received a blow to the back of the head. The person who came was Huang Kaomin. Why? He did it. It's because if you can save it now, you can cut it first. This is the only one. But since this is Huang Kaomin's first time driving, he was also nervous along the way. But the people behind him didn't notice. Out of his way, just chatting to yourself. Until Huang Kaomin was on the safe side. When you want to drive your car on an empty road. He had an accident. Accidentally bumped into the fence. As a result, the 2 suddenly lost the mood to chat. Urge drivers to drive well. Huang Kaomin looked at the soles of her feet. I just stepped on the brakes. So he quickly apologized. I'm praying in my heart, don't get confused. The scene also made Kinder sweat coldly. I'm afraid Huang Taomin accidentally leaked blood. He also looked at Quan Zhidu carefully for this. I want to see if he is sleeping. And he was just happy. Quan Zhidu suddenly popped up a sentence. Is there something wrong with you, the employee of the Aaron Center? The next second, he looked up at the yellow grass rice. If it were just now. I'm not sure yet. But now I can be sure. Your voice is really wrong. The 2 people behind him were in a mess. I don't know what's going on. With the discovery of the other party, Kanazawa's heart couldn't help but thump. He jumped up. But Huang Kaomin ignored the other party. But keep driving. I'm shaking with anger, directly at him. Wants to stop. Car. Unexpectedly, Huang Kaomin slammed on the accelerator at this time. The speed of the car instantly soared to 100 yards. Directly into the tunnel. And the battle for power is due to strength. Fell on the seat. So Kanazawa seized the opportunity. He kicked the horse behind him. But Kwanzaa soon came to his senses. pounced on the royal grass, mother again, after grabbing half of his face. I couldn't help but scold a few words. And for this reason,